Welcome to Trail Time Stories. We hope you enjoy the scenery as we read stories that step out of the normal day-to-day mundane routine and help put ourselves in the character of those that have been briefly pulled from their sanctuary of safety and all too often times their sanity. If you like the content, please like and subscribe, as there will be much more content in the near future. There are two legends that surround burials at Highland Lawn Cemetery in Terre Haute, Indiana. The first of which is the story of Martin Sheets. Martin Sheets was a successful businessman in Terre Haute back in the early 1900s. Martin had a phobia of being buried alive, and medicine wasn't as advanced then as it is now. It is estimated that as many as 2% of the people laid to rest back in those days were still living. Therefore, his fear was well founded. Rumor has it that he would often awaken from nightmares of being trapped alive in his coffin. The invention of the telephone gave Martin the unique idea of having a phone with an active line placed within its mausoleum once he passed away. He also ordered that his tomb be constructed so that he could open it from the inside. He made allowances in his will to pay for the telephone line to his grave for many years after his death, just in case. In 1910, Martin Sheets passed away. A direct phone line to the cemetery was installed so that it would activate simply by lifting the receiver in the tomb. It was even set up so that a light would come on in the Highland Lawn Cemetery office when the phone was lifted, even if no words were ever spoken. Martin wanted to be sure. The light never came on, however, and over time the direct line to the cemetery office was removed. But the actual phone line remained live as long as the money from his will paid the bill. Years later, a chilling thing happened. Sheets' widow was found dead one day. She was lying on her bed and had a telephone receiver clutched in her hand and a look of sheer terror frozen on her face. It took some effort to remove the phone from her grasp. Doctors claimed she had passed away from a stroke, and everyone assumed that she was trying to call for help when she had died. After her memorial service, she was to be placed in the mausoleum next to her husband. When the workers entered the tomb, everything was as it should have been. Nothing inside the locked tomb had been disturbed, except for one small item. Martin's phone was off the hook. The second story is better told and documented by Journey, Indiana, and I will attempt to play the video in a small window as we look for Stiffy Green and his owner in the cemetery. I will leave a link to the original video in the description.
At the Vigo County Historical Society in Terre Haute, downstairs in the basement lives a true legend. It's Stiffy Green.
He's one of our most popular exhibits, and I always tell people that he doesn't eat much and I don't have to walk him, so he's very easy to take care of.
The legend of Stiffy Green started after the death of his beloved owner.
And the story goes that Stiffy Green was the very favorite pet dog of Mr. Heinel, and he went with Mr. Heinel everywhere. Well, unfortunately, when Mr. Heinel died, they put him to rest in Highland Lawn Cemetery at the Heinel Mausoleum, and the story is that Stiffy kept running away from home and going out to the mausoleum because he was lonely for his master. They'd get him, bring him back home. One day when they went to retrieve him, he had died on the steps of the mausoleum. And so they thought perhaps it would be nice for him to be with his master in death as he had been in life. So they had Stiffy stuffed, and the green glass eyes were inserted for his eyes. He was an attraction at the cemetery for many years. People would sneak out there in the dark and take a flashlight and shine it in the mausoleum, and of course those green glass eyes would glow, and boy, they'd run because they were scared.
Generations of Terre Haute residents passed down the legend and made visits to Highland Lawn for a fright until a fateful night.
Unfortunately, someone did not respect other people's property, and at one point the mausoleum and the dog were damaged with a shotgun blast through the doors.
Stiffy then came to live at the Vigo County Historical Society in the mid-'80s. A local community group built a replica of the Highland Mausoleum, and Stiffy stands guard. For some visitors, it's a matter of confusion when they see Stiffy up close, and they ask whether he really is a stuffed dog.
Legends are kind of a combination of the truth and things that people have kind of added through the years, so you never know what's true and what's not true about a legend. We'll have to let you decide for yourself.
And even though his green eyes sparkle eerily here at the museum, that legend still lives on in Terre Haute.
Because if you go out to Highland Lawn on a dark, cloudy night, you may hear a little dog barking and growling on the porch of the Highland Mausoleum.
Thank you for watching and listening to today's video and story. We know your time is valuable and really do appreciate that you spent some of it with us today. If you haven't already, then please like and subscribe, so it helps us greatly. We hope to see you again soon. Have a great day or evening. Trail Time Stories out.